are going to try to segregate the American populace based on skin color, that is the very definition of everything that we have tried to fight against in this country. Everything. And despite even historical and statistical trends, it just isn't true. There's twice as many white people living in poverty in America than black people. Do they live at a higher rate? Absolutely they do. You talk in aggregate numbers, it doesn't reflect to that. So look, here's the point, is that it is anti-individual, and it is very much this idea of racial group collective that I think is extraordinarily harmful and creates this victimhood mentality that pits.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you are new here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So today I'm with amazing guest named
Professor Peter.
So guys, today we are reacting to
Racy Bates attempts to outsmart Charlie Kirk.
Woo! So guys, please let's watch this video together. Poof!
As a Latino in this country, I kind of want to ask your opinion on white privilege, because
Sure.
I think I saw something on Facebook, someone shared like a video or a picture, and I kind of want to just get your views on it, if you could please.
Awesome. White privilege is racist. White privilege is a lie, and it is a myth.
Could you elaborate?
Happy to. White privilege is racist. Let's go through it. As soon as you begin to categorize certain individuals based on skin color, that in of an essence is racism. It is. If you say, oh, you're privileged because of your skin color, are you kidding me? I mean, you don't know about my background or my upbringing. All of a sudden you're generalizing an entire group of people just based on their skin color. That is racism. The definition of racism is putting a specific definition onto a group of people based on their skin color, a prejudice just based on their skin color. That is racism, whether it's a good prejudice or a bad prejudice. That is racism. Is it a lie? Absolutely it's a lie. Now, have Caucasian Americans generally done better over the last, 100 years? Yeah, that's correct. But there's also other communities that have done much better. Asian Americans, for example. I never hear about Asian American privilege. Asian Americans are the wealthiest, most productive, least likely to commit crimes members of the American community. Where's their privilege? Is their privilege based in skin color? Absolutely not. There's privilege based in making good choices. When you make good choices, those choices are rewarded. Asian Americans entered mostly in the 1940s and 50s fleeing communism and Marxism. By doing so, they came into the American community widely discriminated against. In fact, if you ask your grandparents what they think of people from Asia, they won't say very nice things, especially your great-grandparents if they're still alive. They made very good choices. They did the three things you need to do to stay out of poverty in America, according to Ben Shapiro, which is you got to graduate high school, get a job, and get married before you have kids. And over the last 60, 70 years, they are by far the richest group that you can point to based on race in America, by far. So here's the perplexing thing, is that I said it's racist and it's a lie. What else did I say about it? I said something else. It's very divisive, extraordinarily divisive. Because if you're going to start to categorize people just based on their skin color, then they're nothing more than that racial group. They're not an individual. It's not saying that you could rise above your circumstance. It's not saying you can make good choices. It's not saying that, oh, you might have been born behind and you can get ahead. We want to talk about white privilege. Here's a good question, and anyone who here believes in it, please step up to the microphone. We can have a discussion. It's a little, I don't think it'll offend anyone, but it might bring someone back. Here's a really good question to ask. Are Jewish people privileged? Are Jewish people white? Anyone? Are Jewish people considered white? Technically they are.
If you consider their history, I would say not.
Oh, they're not white. Then what are they?
They're Semites.
They're
from the Middle East, at least historically speaking.
Okay, so we don't have that as a box to check on the U.S. Census Bureau.
I think there should be.
Okay, so they should be Semites. Okay.
Well, not Semites, but
Well, I mean that is the technical definition. But for lack of a better term, they are considered white.
I'm white and I'm Jewish, and I don't think that I'm considered
Yeah. So let's go to this.
I don't think it's a monolith, though. I mean, I think you can if you identify as white and a Jew, like that's fine. But
It doesn't
I know
matter
like
if you
there are
identify
a lot
as
of
what
people
you
who have a lot of connections to, especially like Israel.
Yeah. So but here's the point. Here's the point. The question is, if you categorize them as white, which you don't, most do, did they really have that good of a 20th century? Were they really privileged over the last 100 years? Really?
No.
Yeah, they had an extermination order put up against them in an entire continent. Here's the point. is that if we are going to try to segregate the American populace based on skin color, that is the very definition of everything that we have tried to fight against in this country. Everything. And despite even historical and statistical trends, it just isn't true. There's twice as many white people living in poverty in America than black people. Do they live at a higher rate? Absolutely they do. If you talk in aggregate numbers, it doesn't reflect to that. So look, here's the point, is that it is anti-individual, and it is very much this idea of racial group collective that I think is extraordinarily harmful and creates this victimhood mentality that pits one group up against the other, that does not reward what America truly is, which is a place where good choices will eventually be rewarded. Go ahead and say something in response if you want.
Yeah, just I guess one follow-up question. So you don't think that specifically regarding the United States, like the crippling, like systematic oppression of like the 60s and before that has like any kind of effect whatsoever on African American communities?
Great question. Okay, I'm glad you asked that. Say it again. So say it again, because I want to.
Do you think that the systematic oppressive laws of the 60s and prior to that have any kind of effect whatsoever on African American communities today?
Sure they did, but didn't the internment camps against Asian Americans in the 40s have something against them? They rose above it, right? So here's the question. Is America more racist today than we were in the 1960s? It's a legitimate question. Can anyone possibly say we're more racist today? No. Then why are blacks worse off today than they were in the 1960s? It's not because we're a more racist country. We're much less racist in every single metric. It's because we've incentivized bad behavior over the last 60 years. Black single motherhood was 18% in 1965. It's now 71%. What happened? Is it because we got to be a more terribly racist country? No. Did we get more racist laws? No, we actually got rid of most of all of them. Civil Rights Act, we got rid of almost every single one. So what happened? It's because we incentivized really, really bad behavior. We said to single mothers, go ahead, have kids, and we'll give you a check every single month. But don't get married. As soon as you get married, you lose the check. We put African Americans in urban areas and housing projects that, again, incentivize bad behavior. And that was the advancement of the American welfare scheme. Also coupled with failing public schools, run mostly by teacher unions that were not properly incentivized to try to get the people out of poverty that were very much in. By every single metric, African Americans are worse off today than they were in the 1960s, with crime, prison rates, single motherhood, employment, wealth capita, everything. And there's only one possible explanation for that. It's not that America got more institutionally racist, not any of that stuff. It's that there was a set of policies put forth by one president and continually supported by an entire political party to keep a whole segment of the population poor and routinely voting Democrat. And that's Lyndon Baines Johnson and the American Democrat Party, which I think completely punished it. So if you want to talk about systemic oppression and racism, there's lots of other examples of ethnic groups that went through that too. If that's the card you want to play, it does not couple. Almost every single one except African Americans and Native Americans have not rose above it statistically. And the only thing they have in common is absolute total government interference and involvement in their life. Go, a follow-up question?
Wow. Good. This is amazing. Like, do you know, I learned a lot of things from this video, because when Charlie was saying that some single mothers every Monday normally paid. Wow, this is nice.
You know,
Like,
one thing for me regarding that is just a lot of them make it as a choice, just because they know that they get paid.
yes.
There is a case online about one Black American
Okay.
movie actor
Okay.
who actually got married to one lady. I think she's into fashion or something like that.
Okay,
And now the lady has a son for this young man,
Okay.
and they divorced.
Yeah.
Now, just because of that level of divorce, this lady is still asking for pay rise, and pay rise.
Woo!
So you can see those factors. It happens in
Yeah, child
the
support and
yes,
yes,
exactly.
Yes,
you get it right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Woo! Do you know? I'm really shocked. Do you know this racist things? When I traveled to Ghana to school, so I when I was there, they said, "Ah, you're in Nigeria." I said, "Yes, I'm in Nigeria." I said, really that we all have, that Nigeria people have money. So if I want to buy something, the way I speak, they will say, please, maybe if the thing is like $1, they will say no, it's $5 because I'm a foreigner. Like, I don't know, that is racist, very, very bad, and I don't like that. Like, I felt bad about it. And everywhere you go, they do the same thing. The moment you just hear you are a foreigner, they'll start increasing price for you.
I have one lady that we're privileged to be in the same space.
Okay.
She's married, and she actually grew up outside the country, so our accent is very, very clean, and like a
Wow.
white person. Now she has a challenge with one thing. Whenever she goes to the market to get something, she
Okay.
was complaining to me about it, that these days she does not go to the market again. She just has to get a maid that does the market running for her, because a lot of people are stereotyped.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, it's more like a stereotype
Yes.
that a lot of people are putting up, and it's a challenge. Now, yet again, from this Charlie's story, it's one of my first time to vibe or to react towards
Charlie.
Charlie. And
that's true.
I found out that in the society, a lot of people, they have concluded that black people are fighting against the white, or black people should be marginalized. I think that's why in the tail end of his statement, when he was trying to make a statement, he said that most black people are either at the lower strata
Yes, that's
in
true.
finances. They are not, you understand? And
Yes.
if you see a black person trying to rise, it now looks like the black person is trying to rise above a white person, and that's not how it should be. That's when racism is. And truthfully speaking, for me, I still believe that racism is still in vogue, even in the white sector.
Yeah,
And this
that's
is something we have to curb. In football segments, there's a guy called Vinicius Jr. in Real Madrid. I think he's one of the person tipped for Ballon d'Or currently.
Wow.
Now, one thing is this, that Vinicius Jr. was actually trolled. He's a black man, a Brazilian, a black man.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's what's the name of this thing? His ancestors could be from Africa.
Yeah, that's
so. This guy was trolled down to the fact that he was even called a monkey. So it becomes a challenge when you now see people carrying mindset, single story about people, and then they just try to marginalize you, and that is pure racism for me.
That's true.
That's pure racism for me.
Wow. So guys, please comment below on any video you want us to react to. Comment below. Yeah. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share this video, and get Fashion Store. Fashion makes sense.